Welcome to another inspiring episode of the No Limits Life podcast. I'm your host, Nordine, here with my co-host, Ken.
Hey.
And today we are exploring the powerful intersection of purpose, reinvention, and wellness. Transformation is not just a change in direction. It's the courage to align your life with what truly matters. Today's guest is a powerhouse in both the corporate world and the wellness space. With over 28 years in marketing and media, Dani Longoria-Burnett has led major campaigns across radio, TV, print, direct mail, and digital platforms. She oversaw 5 business units for Lee Enterprises and even founded her own boutique digital agency. In 2024, she made a bold transition, leaving corporate leadership to help grow the brands she co-founded with her husband here in Tucson. The LowT Clinic, Surgical Wound Care of Arizona, and Evolve Wellness and Aesthetics. At Evolve, Dani leads with a mission to elevate women's health through hormone therapy, weight loss, skin rejuvenation, and pelvic care. She's a wife, a mother of 4 sons, a creative spirit in the kitchen, and a golf-loving member of the Oro Valley Country Club, where she's working her way to becoming a Niner. Please welcome a visionary in business and wellness, Dani Longoria-Burnett. Any relation with Longoria? What's her name?
Eva Longoria.
Well, we're both from Texas. We're both from the southern region. In the Latin culture, once you get past the 5th cousin,
I'm sure there's something there.
You don't really break bread on Sunday together, but, our families know each other.
Let's talk about this quote that I just read. How do you apply that in your life?
I feel like every step we've taken has shown up. We started what we were doing really curated for a men's life. We were very well aware of how it could change because of, Brian's journey. But what we realized is as we changed the lives of men, the women came in with their partners and they wanted their wives to have help too, or their partners to have help too. And women are amazing in one thing. They don't gatekeep. If they're having great results in changing their life, they tell 5 of their friends, and then 5 of their friends show up. And when I crossed over to leaving my corporate world over into our own practice, the first thing I thought was, we don't have a men's clinic, we have a women's clinic. We had more females in our practice than men. And we were not speaking to that.
And by the way, Dr. Burnett, Brian.
Yes.
You mentioned Brian. We had him on the show last time.
Correct.
Dr.
Yes.
Ben.
And I hope that story connects with this one because he was very unaware that his practice was so dominated by women. And so I started to look at, just like a good strategist would, how are we speaking to them? What are we doing for them? What is their biggest root issue that they're coming in for? And it really set me on a journey of how we could really resolve issues that are very taboo and open them up in the same way that we were doing for men. And it's really changed the culture of our practice. It's changed how often someone will come and visit with us and really kind of identify how to improve their life. And so, when there's that old adage of when mama's happy, everyone's happy.
I know that. I know that saying.
Yeah, tell me something about it. You mentioned taboo. I want you to dive a little bit more on that. How taboo was it and still is, I think?
I say that because women don't really understand that testosterone is needed in their
because they think it's men. Women has testosterone.
And everyone correlates what the message is on what it does for men, right? So they're like, oh, that's not for me. But in reality, the balance of it really can change your mood, your sleep.
Yeah, hormonal balance,
all
absolutely.
the things that are important in stability everywhere, not just in, your day-to-day, but how you interact with family, friends, how you feel about your outlook in life in general. And so that was like hurdle number 1. But hurdle number 2 were all the side effects that if that was not in check, what kind of life or quality of life you're missing out on if you are buried within yourself and not talking about, hey, I don't feel good when, or this hurts when, and I don't know who to talk to, because when I go to my physician, they're telling me that that's normal, and, just to kind of take a vitamin and look the other way. And, so we kind of really took a deep dive in that perimenal menopause space, where questions really start to come in front of a female, like, am I crazy, or is this normal? And so that alone concept is really, that language is reintroduced itself in a new way. We want to call it magical pause instead of menopause.
When women come to your clinic, they already have that kind of awareness. They know something is wrong and they need to rebalance their hormones. How about those who are not aware of that? Because I think for me, what I've seen is a cultural problem. We have a lot of cultures in America, and a lot of women don't know that the way they feel, the reason they don't sleep is because of there's somehow imbalance in their hormones, because they've never been in that mindset. Nobody tells them about it. Their doctor is not even talking about it. So what do you say about women out there that don't come to see you? How do they get awareness? How do they even start thinking about hormone balance?
My story is really well rooted into what made me want to have this conversation so deeply. So my mother had all the coverage in the world. She was actually worked for the military. Education was on her side. She was a brittle diabetic, but believed that medicine meant that something was wrong with her. So even though someone said, you have diabetes, she refused the medicine and said, oh, I'll just eat different. And then she didn't, right? It's hard to be in that always diet mindset. I also think there was not enough education when that was occurring, that she didn't understand like how critical it was. Her body just didn't make what it needed for her to function appropriately. There's a lot of that nurturing concept that a female has just by being a friend, being a mother, being a partner in life. You take care of others before you take care of yourself.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so I lost my mom at 67. Diabetes is a hard disease. And when I find that people don't want to talk about it, it's one of those, it's not embarrassment. That's not the right word. But it's like fear mixed in with I don't really want to know to what is there really to do about it kind of concept that when we talk to someone, I'm inspired by getting to why don't you want to fix this? Tell me what's put in your way, and then I like to help take those out of the way. But it's all education and
the lack of awareness.
The lack of awareness.
Like I said, there is a lot of women out there who are doing their best to be mothers, to be wives. And with that comes that vulnerability, okay, where they know something is wrong, but they will not talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not okay is not a good line.
It's not a good line. It's I'm supposed to be, providing. I'm supposed to be the strong person here. And they almost deny themselves wellness. So how can you help with that, with bringing awareness? As I mentioned earlier, people come to you. But what are you doing to go to them?
That's a great question. We've really started to partner with content providers to tell our story, because if you search online, that means you already have awareness and you're already seeking help, right? I've tried to, join women's groups, and, word of mouth with the womanhood group is amazing. It's like wildfire. So word of mouth has been great. But anytime I have a chance, last night I was in an event and, we spoke about what we did, what we were really trying to accomplish in the last 4 years with developing and why. I mean, really, our medical population drove why we're even doing this. They needed this. We colored it. we built it. And if that population said that, then how many more are we speaking to? It's a great question. I don't know if I want to know the answer fully, because we're just always on doing it everywhere.
Absolutely. And also before you ask the next question, Ken, there's something very, very profound that I'd like to delve, into with you, is the machoism of men who are who also don't allow their partners or their wives to be sick. She's not allowed. She's not allowed, or let me rephrase this, not sick, but well. So when you talk to a guy about a woman needing to create balance, hormonal balance, it's a taboo subject. It's like, what are you talking? Like you said earlier, they don't even think that the women have testosterone. It's not a thing for them. It's like, what are you talking about? There's no, she just needs to eat better and take care of herself, but that's not true. So what do you say about that to those guys out there who are the macho guy who keeps his wife down?
Well, interestingly enough, the machoist guy that you would meet in our practice would bring their wife in for one thing. He knows if they're not emotionally connected. He knows, the power of touch is a very big thing on living quality of life. What is the love languages, right? Most men are the love language is touch. If their wife is not doing that, they are gonna seek help somewhere, somehow. And if they understand what's occurred with them, they are most likely to say, hey, I don't know the answer. The puzzle piece is connected somewhere, and I think it could help us. And we've had people say, this has saved our marriage. Because the power of touch with a couple is, trust in that is what you've got, right? It's the foundation of why you come together. You inevitably have children, and that in turn makes her go, no, please, stay away.
If you truly love someone, you're able to see what's wrong.
Absolutely. And I do feel that men, if they are lacking that in their life, they are more open to talk about it. They understand from that capacity. And then we just kind of take it from there. A lot of times, he doesn't need to be in the conversation. They both have something connected towards one another, and it's foundational.
I guess I'm kind of curious because I'm a broadcaster. I always like talking to broadcasters, so you're a broadcaster. But you were very high up the food chain. You were at corporate.
Correct.
So what would get you to leave that kind of huge, high-level position to become an entrepreneur? How did that all happen?
What's funny is the thing about being in corporate is like we're always here to help, right? And that's always our running joke. And I really was there to help. Even though I was at a high level, I was down in my business units and often were side by side with my sales teams in a car, pushing McDonald's bags aside,
nice.
Joining them because
that's the way it should be.
I like to close deals, right?
Sure.
The one corporate thing that's a big no-no is the second you lose how you got where you were is not putting yourself in the field today. You can't talk about what it was like 10 years prior in the whatever bridge it took. Yeah, it changes.
Yeah, you're right.
So I kind of always traveled in my business units, really kind of always from $500 a pop to, $1 million pop deals. Felt like I was always relevant in the story of that day. I realized as we were growing personally in our business that I was everywhere on a plane building businesses for others, but I wasn't doing it in our own. And there came that crossroads where Brian said to me, don't you think it's time to give yourself permission to do this for us? And I was about to turn 50, and I've always been driven by earn the right to give yourself permission to cross over. And I felt like it was the right time. And what a gift. I hit that milestone in age, and I don't know why, but I kind of just thought it's time to be good to myself and to us and do that.
So do you have any regrets with that decision?
I miss the people.
That's a big decision. I mean, that's your
You
career.
know, you work really long to get it to a certain tier, and hard to get to that tier, and you earn that tier. And females, if you look across media,
that's a
very
good
rare
point.
to
Very
be at
rare.
that. Crossing over meant if I need to answer the phone that day, I do. I'm the receptionist. I say hello to everyone when they walk through the door.
Yeah.
And I think that's very personal. I take out the trash more than anyone else. It's a very different status.
A little humbling, maybe, compared to when you were corporate?
The best gift for me being in my 50s now is none of that matters anymore. The best part about coloring with a client was to help them understand that they needed to be from the bottom all the way to the top of their organizations and the impact of that. And I get to do that now. I almost had to practice what I'm preaching, what I said to practice.
One of the reason for success and for your transition is because of your born ability to lead. I think leaders are often people that know they're leaders, even if they're working for someone, and at some point, somehow, they transition. Most people that are leading organizations worked for people before, but they all tell me that they knew somehow there's something nagging them every single day. And it told them, this little voice that said, why can't you, I'm one of those guys.
You can do this.
Why can't you do this for yourself? You can do this. You're doing it right now. The only difference is that you're going to be leading, you're going to be doing something you can control, and that is what I think led you to make that transition successfully, that is.
I blame my grandparents. At about 7, we were they owned the only grocery store within 86-mile radius.
Wow.
IOU ticketing, that was my job, is to write the tickets up.
Yeah.
But at a very
How
young...
old were you 7, you said?
7. I was counting inventory in
Already
the back.
leading, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We
so
were,
that's
That's
child
very young.
labor at its
Yes.
best. But in South Texas, Longoria Grocery was on Highway 181. And if it wasn't for my grandparents, people wouldn't have eaten for a month if they didn't have that IOU system. And I learned inventory and how to stock shelves. And, you don't realize that at a very young age, you're calculating around things that efficiently run, how to make something efficiently run. And as I grew through my career, which I've always called like an accident, but really it was hard work met opportunity, right? But for me, I always say, my career's been an accident. I just ended up there, and it's been
Just like that.
It's been lovely to feel that way. But it goes back to being that young and my grandparents having us be a part of the inside of their business. Because they were uneducated. They were just doing. And they were the doer of the area.
Yeah, my mom isn't educated. She doesn't speak French or write French or any other language. And she built an empire of real estate that is evaluated at $10 million. She has 3 different homes that she rents. So I think education is self-made. It's you take yourself, because you have that within you. You have what it takes to be a leader. I don't care if you read or don't read, you're going to make it. Were you the only child?
Well, worse. I was the baby of all of the grandchildren and the baby of my family, which in a Latin culture is like you're the queen of the family, right? You enter and they're like, do you want something to drink? Are you hungry? And even at 51, it's still like that when I go back. I act like I'm 5 and I get away with it. But it is part of what I expected. As I grew older, I realized, I never would have I don't want that. I know that this is what I want, and I know how to get that. And so doing is a very big piece of I accidentally got here. I don't know.
But you felt it deep inside that you were meant for something bigger.
I never really knew it because there was no
plan.
But you
felt it.
I was supposed to get married to a wonderful man with a wonderful last name. And
Which you did.
And I was supposed to be taken care of. That was my parents' plan for their 4 daughters.
But as a born leader, it doesn't go, very far when you marry somebody who wants to take care of you, because you end up taking care of them. As a leader,
there's a fight around.
Yeah,
that, for sure.
you always. There is no way for a leader, men or women, to be controlled. There is no way, You're either a follower or a leader, which is, it's fine. As long as you know, as long as you know who you are.
Yeah, my sisters were like, you were adopted, you're the black sheep. There's always been some kind of message around, oh, she's different, don't listen to her. But
Seems like they're jealous to me.
no. They're just fine. I mean, sisters are sisters, right? They're the first line to kick you in the teeth, and you take it, and you learn to fight that fight.
Sure.
You launch major brands, and but what do you feel is the unique energy or value you bring to the Tucson community?
One of the things that was my biggest concern, Tucson loves local. They love to feel that one of their own has made it. And the hardest thing I had, you said, what is the thing you brought? And I'm focusing on the hardest thing that I wasn't going to bring, if you notice.
Yeah.
It's my hurdle is that we're not local. We are transient. We came to build business. We actually didn't have that scripted. That unexpected plan is moving into it or choosing not to. We choose to lean in and take that leap.
Fail forward. Yeah.
Yep. What I bring is that we want to take care of Tucson in a wellness space that can be comfortable and open and bring a quality of life that everyone knows they want but don't know where to go to find it. Whether it's somebody saying, last week on a call, a patient left and he said, I just want you to know 3 weeks when I came to you I was in such a bad place, and
You transform lives.
to hear it through the patient experience is what I
Victory.
live for.
Yeah, it's victory. Yeah.
And I think that's what we bring. To say we transform lives is a powerful statement that I almost have not earned the right to say out loud, that I need to get comfortable with, because that's what we're doing. When we're talking to cardiologists and urologists and we're saying, hey, our dots connect, and they're our patients too. And they're sending their patients to us. To me, that circle is
There's
where I want to be.
There's
right?
a synergy, between...
So it's taking that mindset, though, and that's absolutely there. Is this real medicine or not? When your circle is with specialty physicians, I feel like we're doing it with just that edge that is just different.
Yeah, there's a marriage between the medical and the wellness world.
Yes.
And both need each other.
The biggest compliment in any day is when a cardiologist or urologist or general medicine says, go here. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, there's a synergy.
Love
Absolutely,
it.
What would you tell women that are listening right now, maybe that are, whether they're stay-at-home moms or they're corporate people and working and trying to balance family and everything? What advice would you give them on how do you stay balanced and keep healthy?
That's a hot topic because we read lots of books that say balance life balance, blah, blah, blah. What does that even mean? I had a woman, a business owner in Wisconsin, tell me something a long time ago, and I never forgot it. And it's still at the top of my list to change, although I haven't. I think about it often. I was just talking about it with Phil, taught by Phil and his group. I was telling these young ladies as I was in front of them, she said women can only be good at two things at a time. Mostly it's children and your work. And as you grow through that phase, then as your children grow up, then it becomes work and your partner, if you still have one.
Right.
Because guess what? Somebody got ignored.
Right.
And you always have something falling off. And then there's all these books about life balance. What is that? And what is enough, right? So I do think that there have been stages in my life where I'm like, oh, I work out really hard. I'm taking care of myself and my job. I'm killing it. But guess who suffered?
Right.
Kids and husband, right?
Yeah.
2 things is easy. If you can grab 3, go for it. But be smart about it. Don't do it at the risk of losing a partner or your work, if that even makes you feel good. I think that is the thing I would say is if something doesn't make you feel good, compartmentalize it and walk away from it. Women don't give themselves permission to let go of things. And I do think that is the one tip I wish that I had learned earlier.
I think it goes back to what Nordine's always preaching to me, awareness. Because that's what I keep hearing as you're saying that. If you just got to be aware of your situation and where you are with things.
Again, when you have awareness, you are extending your the way you see things instead of being boxed in, what should I do? What should I accomplish?
Well, perception ruins everything in a decision-making process, because I perceive myself as, I'm supposed to be in this corporate role. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to travel and give to others. I'm supposed to. That was my perception. But when I ask myself, how am I happy? Mm-hmm. Am I tired? Mm-hmm. Am I alone? Those things still were very real that I wasn't addressing. So when I made the change, I made it when I had all of those chess pieces on my side, and I jumped. Mm-hmm. I gave myself permission to jump, which was scary. And sometimes when I'm taking trash out to the dumpster, I'm like,
yeah.
But you know what? I'm like, it's worth it now.
Right.
Because I'm happier, because my stress levels are down.
And I think it's important to note that what happened to you and what happened to a lot of people when they gain awareness is that there's a phenomenon that happens. The stuff from the head matches the stuff from the heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good point.
That's when we gain awareness. And that is something I tell people to pay attention to. It's not something you think about. It's something you feel about. Mm-hmm.
No, I agree.
Pay attention to your feelings. The only way we can get to that point is to give us time to be still. I don't care how much time you can allocate for yourself. Just take a few minutes to be still. Because when you're still, you always feel the stuff from the heart. And guess what? If you you sit still and listen to yourself, at one point, you'll merge the two.
I wish I'd have done that a long time ago.
But that's exactly what happened to you. And
yeah. And I do think, and you'll laugh at me when I say this because it's what we do for a living, but I think technology has zapped our energy about how we think and how we feel about ourselves in comparison to everything. And I started to read more in a hard book, not electronics. Because
I read more now too.
There's
same thing.
There's something about this disconnectivity that is important to a mindset.
I can't read a book on my phone.
No, I can't.
No.
Well, and the decompression of it helps you just connect with the words. And, I think because of the journalism in my life, I've been around great words. I know that they're powerful when you connect with someone. I know that you can shift someone's life by saying the right thing to them when they need to hear it the most. And I just feel like that book time for me is vital to my own health, my own mindset. Yeah.
Yep.
You said something powerful here. You said when you are helping someone change, you say something that will help them change. It is the saying, but guess what? The energy you coupled with your words cemented that in their mind. Because you could say something that is helpful without meaning it, without the energy, they feel it. It's not going to be cemented in their subconscious. So if you say something, you truly mean it, and that energy matches what you say, that person will take it to the bank. This being said, here's Inner Fitness, my current book, and I will send you No Limits Life, a book when it's out.
And Dani, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for being here.
So we really appreciate your time. And we want to make sure all of our viewers, listeners, please subscribe, like, share, and spread the word about No Limits Life. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, folks.